Hello, Mary. Do you have a moment?
Oh, hello. Should I still be calling you by your first name? I don't know if it's right for me to be calling you Mom just yet, you know?
I think you're right. It's too soon for you to be calling me Mom. I'm not your mother. Yet, anyways.
Oh, sorry to put you on the spot like that. Well, let's start over then, shall we? Hello, Hillary. Thanks for coming to meet me and my parents the other day. It was great to finally meet you.
Yes, that's the thing. Don't mention it.
So, what can I do for you today?
I have a question for you, and I would appreciate an honest answer. You and my husband work at the same company, do you not? And furthermore, you recently started working in the same department together. Is that true?
Yes, that's right. Actually, I heard from Andrew a while ago that his dad was working at the same company as me. But I was totally surprised when I walked into the room where you two were waiting, and who should I see but the person who just got transferred into my branch recently? It was a total surprise.
Well, I suppose our family name is somewhat of a common one, so it doesn't surprise me one bit that you wouldn't suspect that we were related when you saw that we had the same last names. But that's not the issue I'm here to discuss today. The issue is your reproachful behavior towards my husband.
What? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Did I do something that offended him?
Offended? Oh, that's nowhere near strong enough a word to describe your attitude towards my husband. When I left to go to the little girl's room, I saw him apologizing profusely to you, and you were lecturing him like he was a school child. I know my eyes were not deceiving me to see that horrible behavior.
Oh, I'm sorry that you had to see that.
Oh, how dare you behave that way toward the man who will be your future father-in-law! And not to mention, he's been with the company far longer than you have. He must be well above your rank, obviously. And in spite of all that, you were behaving like you were his superior. How shameless of you. I bit my tongue at the time out of concern for my son's feelings for you, but I cannot contain my anger any longer. If you're willing to apologize to me right now for your awful behavior, I'm willing to overlook it. But if you don't, then I withdraw my permission for you to marry my son and my blessings on a happy wedding.
Are you serious?
I am very serious, and I will not accept any excuses from you, Mary. Either apologize to me, or you can forget being a part of this family.
Okay, just so you know, we were actually talking about something to do with work that day. And in your husband's position, really the only appropriate thing to do would be to apologize.
Excuse me?
Really, it was kind of a surprise for me too when he suddenly started acting like that. I told him it was okay and that he didn't need to apologize so much, but, he just kept going. And I wish I could give you more information on what really went down, but like I said, it's company internal matters, so I'm contractually not able to divulge any information to uninvolved third parties such as yourself, ma'am.
Oh, don't talk to me with this legal jargon. What do you mean, internal matters?
I mean exactly what I said. It's a company matter, and since you're not involved, I'm not able to discuss it with you. I get that you'd like to know more about what happened, but please understand that I cannot tell you any more than I've already have.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. But in any case, it seems like you have no intention to apologize to me.
It's like I told you, I'm not the one who has anything to apologize for.
I see. So you have no remorse for treating your soon-to-be father-in-law. So be it. I will not allow you to marry my son, and the wedding is off!
I don't think you're in any position to make that call, Hillary.
I think this goes without saying, but the fault in the situation lies 100% with you, Mary. As such, you'll be responsible for paying for all of the venue cancellation fees. I'll be contacting our lawyer very shortly, and we'll be suing you for that and for the pain and suffering that you have caused this family.
Andrew.
Hey, Mary, what's up?
This is bad. Really bad.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Your mom saw your dad apologizing to me at your house the other day.
Oh boy.
She texted me about that just now. And she is really, really mad. Which, in all fairness, I don't really blame her, considering that she doesn't know the whole circumstances. But still, this is bad. She said that if I don't apologize to her for that she's gonna make us break off our engagement.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I had literally just made an explicit promise not to tell anyone about what happened. So it's not like I can just up and spill the beans to her.
Oh, why are my parents always doing things like this? They're inseparable to the point that I almost never see one without the other in the same room, and yet when trouble rears its ugly head, they take completely opposite approaches.
It seems like you're pretty used to this kind of thing from them, huh?
Sorry about that, I just felt the urge to vent. Anyway, for now, I'd like to see the texts Mom sent you, if you wouldn't mind. Is it okay if I head over to your place right now?
Yeah, come on over, it's fine.
Okay, I'll be there in just about an hour or so.
Alright, I'll be waiting for you. Hello there, Mary. Have you prepared yourself for the impending breakup with my son? I haven't heard a thing from you ever since I gave you my ultimatum. So now I'm forced to message you like this. I grow more disappointed with you by the day. How long were you going to keep me waiting? You really are an impudent little girl, aren't you? If you're trying to wait it out and hope I forgive you, it's not going to work. I will not consent to this marriage until you've given me a proper apology. If I may be so bold, I'm marrying Andrew, not you. Why exactly do I need to have your consent? Oh, excuse me? I doubt that Andrew would want to break off our engagement because I won't apologize over a situation in which I did nothing wrong. And frankly, I'm perplexed that you would simply assume that I was in the wrong rather than talking to your husband and finding out what actually happened. That's very immature of you. I'm at a loss of words for you, Mary. To think that you would speak in such an uncivilized manner to the mother of the man you're hoping to marry! Hoping? Yes, hoping! I haven't opened up my consent for you just yet, have I? Oh, I must have missed where we established that I even needed your consent. You little... Stop interrupting me! I'm giving you the lecture that you deserve right now! Oh, right. By all means, go ahead. If a family were like a company, then the mother-in-law is like the superior and the daughter-in-law is the subordinate. And subordinates are supposed to listen to their superiors, correct? If you were to fuss and fret and whine over an order your superior at the company gave you, well, how do you think that would go? Obviously, no superior would stand for that sort of insubordination. You would be punished severely, and you would be demoted. Your pay would be cut, you'd be transferred, and your professional life would be finished. Surely even someone of your intellectual capacity could understand what I just explained. Yes, I understand perfectly. So I take this to mean that if someone at a real company actually was repeatedly insubordinate to their superior, then you'd have no issues with that subordinate receiving those type of punishments you laid out, correct? Exactly. Subordinates should know their place. A subordinate who does not and openly disrespects his superior should not go unpunished. Hillary, you are so smart, and I agree with you. All right, that settles it. Looks like your husband is getting transferred. What? Technically, the final call isn't mine to make, but you should probably operate under the assumption that it is going to happen, so I think you should start preparing accordingly to this. Wait, what nonsense are you talking about? I'm sure you're about to become very busy. Since you're going to be moving soon, you should probably start looking for a new house or an apartment, as soon as you get the word of where he's being transferred to. Wait, Mary, what are you talking about? What are you rambling about right now? So, sorry, I gotta go. I have some stuff to do. I need to get back to work. Hello there, Mary. It's been so long since we've seen each other. Would you like to come over and have some afternoon tea with me someday soon? Maybe tomorrow. What are you doing? A friend of mine gave me a box of the most wonderful tea the other day, and I knew I had to share it with you. Oh, and I'm also going to pick up some cake from that new pastry shop downtown. Are you free this weekend? I'd love to have you over to our house if you don't mind. I guess this is your last-ditch effort to stop the inevitable, huh? Well, don't you think you're laying it on a wee bit too thick right now, Hillary? Mary, I guess you finally heard the truth then. About my husband and your husband's position in the company. I heard everything. Come to find out, my husband is a complete useless employee who keeps getting sent around to different departments once he makes too much of a mess for them to deal with. And 3 months ago, he got sent to a new department to work under a young and upcoming leader in the company who happens to be you, Mary. He was frustrated and embarrassed that someone as young as you was placed above someone else who has been in the company as long as him. So he got desperate to prove himself and started working at a faster pace than ever before, which ended up causing a world of problems for your clients and other departments. And since you're his direct superior, you're the one who always had to clean up for his messes. Yeah, that just about covers it. So the reason he was apologizing that day when you came over to meet my parents and I was because he was so shocked to learn that his son's fiancée was none other than the boss he had been causing so much trouble for at the office. And he was desperate to keep you from finding out about what a total disaster his career has been. He was begging me not to tell you that I was his boss. And I had to stop him from getting on his knees and begging me, and that's probably why you thought that I was lecturing him. So you weren't lecturing my husband, you were just trying to get him to maintain his dignity. Oh, and by the way, I guess he was counting on Andrew taking his side and helping to convince me to help him out. He was all like, "You're a man too, son, aren't you? You must know what sort of position I'm in." But Andrew wasn't going for it at all. He just let out a huge sigh and walked out of the room. I see. So that's what happened. I've always been the type to have a pretty solid separation between my work life and my private life. And since our relationship at work would probably only serve to cause problems between us as a family, I didn't have any intentions of bossing him around outside of work. At first, anyway. Then I found out what your husband had been doing at the office ever since he found out I was marrying Andrew. He's been name-dropping me at the company and trying to get other people to give him credit for their work. Like threatening to get them fired if they didn't do as he demanded. He did. I received multiple complaints of that nature from multiple employees in my department. So I made a report of my own to my superior. And as a result, it's been decided that your husband is getting transferred to a branch in, well, the middle of nowhere. Oh, no. Oh, yes. And you should be grateful, honestly. Most people who screwed up as bad as your husband actually would just get fired for everything they've done. And I bet the only reason he didn't was because the CEO took pity on him. He didn't want to just kick a man your husband's age on the curb with no future employment prospects. Mary, isn't there anything you can do about this? Sorry, Hillary, but the decision is already out of my hands. What's done is done. So no, I'm afraid sucking up to me now isn't going to get you anywhere. You'll either have to move out into Nowheresville with your husband, or make him go by himself while you stay here alone in your house. This can't be happening! I suppose there is a third option. You could always divorce him, but that's about all you have in terms of options when you really think about it.
I can't do that! I haven't worked in years, and I can't get divorced at my age!
Okay, well, then you're just going to have to talk to your husband about this. What you do from here on out is an issue between the two of you that has nothing to do with me.
Wait, I got it! I know how we can make this all work out.
Oh, really? Okay, let's hear it.
I'll give you my permission to marry Andrew, and you can move in with us. And if you do that, then I'm sure that everything will work out, whether I divorce my husband or he moves away by himself.
That is definitely not happening.
Why not?
Andrew has been pretty firm since day one that he did not want to move in with you at any point in the future. And I'm respecting my future husband's wishes.
But...
I'm sorry, Hillary, but I really don't see the point of continuing this conversation. I'm just going to keep repeating myself at this point.
Mary, please!
I'm signing off now. After that, I understood Andrew's parents got into a massive fight. Hillary needed someone to finance her lifestyle, and her husband needed someone to take care of all of the housework. And since neither of them were likely to find a replacement for the other at their age, they decided not to get divorced. So the not-so-happy couple set off for their new life in Nowheresville. However, it didn't take long for her husband to screw up big time, no surprise to anybody, again, in his new post. And this time, they actually were fed up and let him go. And this was apparently too much of a strain for the relationship to handle, so they are getting a divorce this time. They've both been messaging and calling Andrew complaining about the whole situation, but he only ever gives them the same simple response every time. You're getting what you deserve. Andrew is finally fed up with them and wants to cut them out of our lives, so we're making preparations to move in secret so they won't know where to find us. I'm glad to see that he's finally free from having to deal with their nonsense after all these years. And we decided that we didn't want our marriage to resemble his parents in any way, shape, or form. So when we got married the other day, he took my last name instead.